It's Week 10 of the National Football League, and we're going to see Christian Harris. He put up numbers last week with a 9-tackle performance. It's the Texans and the Giants, and it comes your way next.
The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. Taken in at the 3. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And they are not going to catch him. He's in. Touchdown, Giants. So a heck of a start to this one. We haven't even gotten settled in already in the end zone on the opening kickoff.
And you know what happens, too? Now you got to translate what that means, because I think for a team that just scored, their defense, I think they'll be more aggressive now. They'll be bolder. They're playing with a lead and an early one and some momentum. So if you're the offensive coordinator on the other side of the field, you better be prepared for some heavy pressure coming your way. They're going to try and get another big score and a big one early.
Let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. And we will not see an attempt to match that return touchdown, as this will be a touchback and bring it out to the 25. As the Texans offense runs out, we get a peek at the man under center. Second-year quarterback Davis Mills out of Stanford.
And this is a game for grit, determination, and somehow finding a way not to panic. What a horrible start for them. I mean, they haven't won a game yet. So now, as a quarterback, you're not just talking to your team. You've got to demonstrate to them what they need to do to win. He's got to be the leader by how he plays.
Mills looking to the air right away. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. Kayvon Thibodeau in there to record the second sack of his young NFL career. Well, if they have any thoughts of coming in here and getting this road victory, that's not the way to start it out on the first play of the game.
Yeah, one thing you always say when you go on the road, take the crowd out of the game. They actually brought the crowd into it by permitting that sack right out of the gate.
So a tough early challenge here, second and long after the sack. Another try after the first down sack. Mills. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. 3 and out, a real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12. Mills hit, and he loses the ball. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Here comes Cohen. So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. So now here are the Giants as they'll get their first opportunity here. Leading them out, someone who has overcome plenty of adversity to forge a 12-year career. Former Virginia Tech Hokie, it's Tyrod Taylor.
And you've got to think that they've got to be feeling pretty fresh. You know, coming off of the open week, didn't have to play, right? Gives them a chance to rest up a little bit, heal some of those aches and pains, and excited about playing again. That really rekindles things a little bit. I want to see how they come out and establish themselves here early.
And that bye week coming right where they want it in the middle of the schedule. It's a giant first down on a gain of 16.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's Taylor. And makes his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. Snap will come from the 31 on 2nd and 7. On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first. Now Taylor. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. Taylor able to use those legs of his to pick up a first.
Brandon, that's a gamer move right there. Facing third down, steps up, calls his own number, and nearly makes the house call. If I'm the coach, I let him take another one right here. Give him a chance to be the first one to hit the end zone after that effort he just gave it.
They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. Barkley again, but he will go backwards as he's stopped for a loss. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's third down.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Now Taylor. Touchdown! Kyle Rudolph. Halfway to 100 now with career touchdown number 50. And the Giants go up by 2 touchdowns. Both sides of the football in sync early. You force the 3 and out, and then you take it down, score points.
You know what that tells me? They sold their game plan really well. Head coach said, listen, we're just going to stop them on 3 and out. We're going to take the ball downfield and score. But he also told them how it was going to happen. They're going to run this. We're going to stop it. Then we're going to take the ball. They won't be able to keep up with us. And they got it done.
Extra point try good by Gano. And it's now 14-0. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game. And they come into this one with an 0-8 record. The playoffs obviously out the window weeks ago. For now, their season boils down really to one question. How do we come up with that first win?
It's a great question, and I do think that they'll get it because they've been close a few times. But in order to get it done, morale has to stay high, so a lot of that goes on the coaching staff. Yeah, easy to coach when you're 7-1. That's a piece of cake. But with their record right now, how do they manage to keep these guys going in the right direction? And they're going to need some help from some of those veterans in the locker room as well.
And he'll be tackled at about the 35. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
Pierce will try to pick it up. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. First and 10, it's Pierce. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On third down, here's Mills. And this is going to be intercepted. Julian Love picks it. And the Giants will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line.
CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
So the Giants getting the football back here for their second drive. They'll start following the interception in great field position at the 45. And they'll begin by running the option.
And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory.
On second down, here's Barkley.
Holding, offense.
Now they face a second and long following the holding penalty. Now it's Taylor. He'll find a man over the middle. It's Galladay. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 38. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. Dropped at the 35, able to display his agility, but not much room to operate. Now an option play on second down. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. So third down, they need to get to the 28 for a first. Now Taylor to throw. And Rudolph has it left side. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
A first down carry for Barkley. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. Running again with Barkley on second down. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a 10-yard gain there to set him up first and goal. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Oh, how about this on first and goal? And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. That sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on second and goal. On a jet sweep, here comes Tony. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a third and goal. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Ready to roll for the second quarter from MetLife Stadium. The Giants with the football as they'll see what they can do on third and goal. Now here's There's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. Gano's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. Now, the midterm elections are now concluded, and I think we can all breathe a sigh of relief for that. But now it's time for midterm football. Well, we've moved past the unofficial halfway point of the season, and we got a couple of good matchups in the night games here in Week 10. Tonight, it's North versus South in California, the Chargers and Niners from Santa Clara. And then tomorrow, Monday night, it's both Charles's birthday, happy early birthday, buddy, and the first primetime appearance for the Commanders as they travel up to Philly to take on the Eagles. A lot going on. Forced out to his left. He'll let one go deep for Howard. And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30. But sometimes you just got to marvel at how these guys can throw the football. He gave that everything he had, and it was right on the money.
And to be honest, this first half hasn't been anything that they'd be really proud about. So they needed something like this to change their fortunes. Now they need to make sure they finish this one off, not just with points, but with a touchdown.
And that wound up traveling an even 58 yards in the air, according to Next Gen Stats. Running it out of the gun with Pierce. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or two.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. On play action, Mills. And he rifles one incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Mills. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. O'Shea Zimenez with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's 3 sacks now, and this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks.
Yeah,
What's going on?
It's not been their bread and butter. I don't know. Is a blind squirrel finding a nut, or is this something they can build on?
Well, they found some momentum. They found a crack in that offensive line, and they're putting it to good use.
And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And the deficit will stay at 3 scores.
Well, Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good.
Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. 4-4 their record through 8 games on the season. Would you say that this team has overperformed, underperformed, or are they kind of right where you thought that they would be?
Do you mind if I say yes, yes, and yes? Because ultimately to me, 4-4 is about where they should be, because we've seen weeks where they've been really, really good. They've looked terrific. Other weeks where we wondered just how good is this team. They want to be consistent in their play, not consistently inconsistent, which is what they've been thus far. First play of the drive, excellent run, just sets up wash, rinse, repeat. Another first down.
Throwing now, Taylor on first down. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Looking to throw again on second down. Taylor got an open man, the tight end Jarwin. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
The Giants and the Texans last year, if you go by the numbers, the two poorest offenses in the NFL. The Giants 31st in total yardage, and the Texans dead last.
And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 15-yard line.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Running left, it's Barkley. Oh, nice move. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
They go play action now. Taylor. And that is caught. He's got it for a Giant touchdown.
Daniel Bellinger
With his first career NFL touchdown.
And the Giants continue to pull away here this first half.
There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Gano now to add the extra point. And the lead is now 24. So that drives 7 plays in length.
And it was finished off with a touchdown by Daniel Bellinger.
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. Ultimately cannot get this out to the 25.
And now out comes Houston.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Kayvon Thibodeau able to get in there yet again. That's already 3 sacks for him here in this first half of football.
So, Charles, I mean, this is just becoming an exhibition now on how to rush the passer.
Yeah, and I can't help but laugh a little bit because I'm enjoying what we're watching. This is coming from a guy who was in college just a year ago, and we keep harping on their evaluation. They saw not just a guy who could rush the passer, but could rush the passer well, and that's why they took him as high as they did.
And pressure coming, and they got him once again.
Kayvon Thibodeau
able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
On 4th down, Matt Araiza sent on to punt.
His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. That'll be a 49-yard punt, 6 yards there on the return. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. Tyrod Taylor now gears up to lead his offense again. And the numbers for the last drive, and he was perfect, which maybe isn't surprising because he has not missed a pass in this game yet.
And it lets you know just how precise things have to be for a quarterback to be perfect, because that means the line's blocking really well. No one's dropping any of the passes thrown to them, and the quarterback is accurate. It's almost like a pitcher throwing a no-hitter or a perfect game, isn't it? He's the principal guy, but he needs a lot of help.
Time to find out if he can keep that perfect game going here, partner.
And they're going to get this up to midfield.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
They'll try and pick it up by running the option to the right. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. It's a pickup of 6.
Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there and worked out well.
How about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
They'll try the right side here. Barkley looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Here's Taylor to throw. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Now Taylor.
Man open, it's Tony. He's got it. And he's going to be taken down right at the 10-yard line.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick it down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10.
Taylor will throw. And this will be caught by his big wide receiver. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it'll be 2nd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from the defender is hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Taylor looking for his tight end Rudolph, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by Christian Harris. And the Texans are going to take over at their own 11-yard line.
Absolutely a golden opportunity missed there to add to their lead and really cap off an impressive drive, because they've got the advantage and plenty of time to add to it. But on the flip side, plenty of time for an opposing comeback as well. So when you have the chance to distance yourself not just so early, partner, you know you don't want to let it slip away.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here.
And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the 2nd quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
Well, no, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating.
And he fires one that's intercepted.
Picked by Julian Love. And the Giants are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line. And Charles, it seems like sometimes when you fall down early, there can be a tendency there to try and get it all back in one fell swoop. And that time, that thinking leads to an interception.
And I believe you brought up a really good point there, Brandon, because you try and force plays, right? You try and get all back in one shot, just as you mentioned there. And you know you're going to need some big plays to get back into the game. but ultimately, you really can't force what isn't there.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Throwing again on second down. Taylor.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted.
Desmond King picks it. And they will score a pick six for the Texans TD.
So maybe some signs of life. I mean, this has been a defense. They've been all over the map here in this first half, but they're coming through with a big play.
And sometimes that one play is what you need. And it sounds overly simple, but this is a team that was close to being down and out before halftime. So to come back and return the interception for a touchdown, that's big.
Yeah, maybe it can serve, Charles, like you were alluding to, as a little bit of a wake-up call for them. We'll see.
Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. He's got it, and that makes our score 24-7. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. The Giants now going to take over late in this first half. And with a little under a minute to go, it's still time to try to put a drive together to add to their lead, should they so choose.
Back to the air, Taylor after the pick six. Eluding the pressure, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down.
Well, that's what they have to do more of defensively, not just getting sacks, but they have to keep getting in his face, not let him get his feet set and deliver. He's been carving them up previously.
Yeah, already has a couple of touchdown passes. About time they put a few grass stains on that jersey. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. They don't want to repeat a first down. They'll keep it on the ground. And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the second down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter. And they will take a knee here. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with fourth down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say, we'll see what happens. On fourth down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in a minute, but first, let's take a spin around the NFL and see what's going on here in week number 10. We'll start up at Highmark Stadium, just outside of Buffalo. And in the second quarter, it's the Vikings who are out on top. Dalvin Cook, 3 touchdown runs. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Moving on, let's take a look at the next-gen stats in the first half for the Texans. And they will need to get this passing game in gear because they did not do much of anything in that first half. And it's why the scoreline is what it is. Meanwhile, for the Giants, we check out their numbers on the ground as they'll try to keep the momentum going into the second half.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Taking it about the 1.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. And the Texans getting ready to go here to begin the third quarter. They look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any one of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive, but maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. So, roughing the passer penalty and an automatic first down.
And that's the mark of a bad team, partner, because that's an easily preventable penalty, but they just didn't take the proper steps to make it so.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down.
And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Going for it with Pierce.
Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
Another carry for Pierce. And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line. 43 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
All right, I got to ask you, with these RPOs, essentially the quarterback has 3 options, right? So what's different from that versus the triple option that we see the service academies run at the college level?
As a general rule, the triple option at the college level, most things are called outside of the quarterback faking it to the runner and then keeping it himself and maybe having a trail back. What I mean is, in the NFL, that option to throw the football all comes about organically. It's a natural deal based on reads. In college, if you're going to throw the football for triple option, you've actually called that play.
From the 30 on 2nd down, Mills. It's caught left side by Cooks. Touchdown, Texans. Brandon Cooks, his 5th touchdown now on the year.
And the Texans are able to cut into that deficit.
A nice throw there by the 2nd-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
Fairbairn good with the extra point. And the lead down to 10, 24-14. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the 3rd quarter.
And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
You could say that again. They've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime, then sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more points.
2nd down, here's Barkley again. He'll get a yard, that's all, as they get him down at the 28. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
He'll get this one to Galladay. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. 9 yards that time.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. A give to Barkley out of the gun. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
Running again with Barkley on 2nd down.
And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line. And he's got enough for the first across midfield to the 48.
Holding offense.
The Texans here on 3rd down, putting an extra defender in the secondary. Here's Taylor. Gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 10 yards, good for a Giant 1st down.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide. And these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 48-yard line.
Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw him coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
Throwing on 2nd and 8, Taylor. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
A loss of 3 on the sack made by multiple defenders. And, of course, that's not an easy man to sack. You know how elusive he can be trying to get outside of the pocket. That was a great play on the defensive side.
And I wonder what was going through his mind, because he didn't seem as committed to using his legs to pick up yardage. He wanted to keep that play alive, so either take off and go or throw it away. But he held on to the football and ended up getting sacked.
3rd and long. Taylor and company hoping to regroup after the sack. They're going to look to throw. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on 2nd down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. It certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
Houston's offense taking over again. Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've got to be pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, the same tempo, and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
Dexter Lawrence finding his way through defensively for the stop.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down.
And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. The Texans send the punter out as he's on here to punt it away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away.
You rarely call your punter a weapon, but he certainly was there. How about that? Pinning him down at the 1-yard line and helping out the defense in a big way. I'm telling you what, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I might be thinking safety right now.
And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay,
do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
A handoff, Barkley running left. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 20. 72 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon. Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the two tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running game.
So the previous play, a big help, as now they'll have it 1st and 10 up at the 20. Taylor. Incomplete. Right side, the tight end Rudolph. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple.
And this will be a Giants first down as he gets us up past the 30 to the 32.
And not a fun game at all for anyone who's playing defense on the field at this point. They just gave up another first down on another good run. I wonder if the defense coordinator just says, let's sell out, play against the run, and not worry about getting beat by the pass.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked up by Christian Harris.
And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. So, my goodness, I wouldn't have thought this possible not too long ago, but that turnover there means we have a game again.
Yeah, it's been a completely different team here in the second half. I just wonder on the other side of the field, where the starters telling the backups, get ready, you're going to get some playing time. And now guess what? Hope they didn't cut the tape off of their wrists and ankles. They've got to go back out there and play.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
A first down throw for Mills.
And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down. To throw on 2nd and 10. Mills. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Now Mills.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Second time in this game, Charles, the ball has squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
Before they can get the punt away, whistles as we come to the end of the 3rd quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. A nice move gets him a few extra. Down just shy of his 20. That'll give him 8 that time. And they'll be left with 2nd and a couple. Taylor. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. Here's Taylor. Little pitch and catch here to Rudolph. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5 at the 28-yard
Up the middle with Barkley. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. The Giants on 3rd down. They've been really good, converting 7 of their 10 tries. This time they face a 3rd and 2. He's going to be a yard short. Needed 2, but only got 1. 4th down.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
Here's Jamie Gillen now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Ross on the return. It'll be a 40-yard punt, 8 on the return, and the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans getting set here to take over again on offense. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news, but this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks. And they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together?
Mills now looks to throw on 1st down. He'll get this into the hands of Nico Collins. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a 1-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
So the drive takes them into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So line of scrimmage still at 39 on 2nd and 10.
Mills to the air again. Swings this one out wide for Pierce.
And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds.
They'll go with a touch pass here, trying to pick it up.
And this is not going to be enough. Was in search of 2 yards and only got halfway there.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
The kick by Fairbairn is good, and this is back down to a 7-point game. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3 and out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Giants going to take over again on offense. Their lead back down to 1 score after the field goal a moment ago, so they'll be looking to string together a few first downs, likely on the ground as they begin 1st and 10.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley, and he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30.
83 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Taylor going to run the option right. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
The time called here because a member of the Texans is in some discomfort.
We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Barkley inside handoff. And he'll get it down here to the 43. On 2nd down, there's the option going left. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. So not his arm, but hurting him with his legs. A gain of 19 on the keeper and a first down.
Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react. Even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL, they're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
What a great effort there. He's going to get this inside the 15, and they'll spot it at the 13-yard line. Nice run.
10 more there and another first down.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
A handoff to Barkley. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a first and goal.
And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
So first and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up.
Barkley. He is going nowhere in a hurry as he is going to lose yardage here in a big way.
That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
Well, it's apparent the defense understands the situation. They have to keep them out of the end zone here. That's a great start by them. A loss on that play. Can they force them into a field goal attempt and still give their offense an opportunity?
They'll give it to Barkley off the option play.
And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2. On third and goal, Taylor. And he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. Blake Jarwin, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Giants look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this fourth quarter.
Well, that was absolutely ideal for them, wasn't it? Trying to salt this game away. I think one of my kids just graduated in the amount of time they had the football. That was absolutely impressive.
Everybody wants those salt-away-the-game drives. What makes them successful?
Well, when you're able to mix run-pass, when you're able to control the football and stay ahead of the chains, I'm using every cliche I know, but that's how you get it done because you're not taking negative plays, and that way you're able to run what you want to run when you get a chance to call it.
The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Houston set to take over.
And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another first and 10.
Mills now. Over the middle, he gets it to Collins. And he'll wind up getting about 6 out of that, as that's going to lead us to the 2-minute warning.
So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Mills throw complete here, pulled in by Howard. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
First down now, but that clock rolling.
Mills throw taken in by Collins. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
It's hurry-up mode time for the Texans, hustling up to the line. Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on second down leads us to 3rd and inches.
And they'll throw again. Here's Mills. Mills can't get away, and down he goes.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down. To the sideline, and he's got it. They say the feet are down. Yes, the line judge says they're in. That'll be a 1st down. That's a 4th down pickup of 10 yards, and an opportunity certainly missed on the defensive side.
And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. And this being inside 2 minutes of play, everything coming from up above. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So the folks in New York just going to wind up confirming what the officials saw as this play will stand as is. Mills throw taken in there by Cooks. And he's going to get this down near the 25.
And he's going to go down here as sacked. They push him back to the 34. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down.
He'll let one go deep for Howard. And this one dropped in the end zone. Looked like a touchdown, but not to be. And now it's 4th down. Mills, 4th down. Got to have it.
This is caught. It's Cooks. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he is into the end zone for the touchdown. So they still need a miracle with a clock where it's at, but they get one piece to the puzzle done.
Still have hope.
So obviously they will decline the penalty there, and the result is 6 points.
That penalty is declined.
Fairbairn now to add the extra point. And that'll cut the lead down now to a touchdown. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. So looking at this situation, you should have time for the onside kick and then at least one play. And this will be recovered by the Giants. And that ought to just about do it. 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
So a victory here for the men in blue, the New York Giants. And a little bit of a surprise, they lose the turnover battle, but wind up winning the ballgame.
And this is very unusual because you know all teams stress winning the turnover battle as a key indicator to winning ball games. So when you get something that goes against the grain like the one we saw here, it's quite the oddity. Now let's face it, they'll be very happy that they pulled this off, but they do know that in the future they've got to work on taking care of the football because this won't happen very often.
So for the Giants, the win gets them back over 500 at 5-4 on the year. And they'll have another home date next week as the Detroit Lions come to town. Meanwhile, for the Texans, it's another week, another loss as they fall now to 0-9.
And they will be back home next week for a date with Washington.